to your community. This is Chris 6 News in your neighborhood.
Hey there, good Monday evening to you. I'm Chief Meteorologist Stephanie Lauber. We are gearing up for another hot week as we move through the first full week of August. Plus, you may have heard, we're likely going to transition out of Stage 3 water restrictions. What you need to know about the forecast before you get your sprinkler ready.
I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Jordan Benavidez. I'm out at Lake Corpus Christi. Water from the Nueces is starting to flow in, and we can see it here. I'll have more details on lake levels for you later today.
The Nueces River is receding, but emergency officials are keeping their guards up. I'll have why they're staying ready coming up.
Hello and thank you for joining us on Chris 6 News. I'm Clara Benitez Cortez. Here's a look at what we have been following across the coastal bend today.
While the biggest impacts of flooding in Live Oak County have been limited so far, emergency officials are not letting their guard down. As the condition of the Nueces River continues to evolve, emergency crews are staying ready and keeping a close eye if things change. The George West boat ramp is now underwater.
You know, if you have water on your roads already in this area, the water's not going to go away for probably at least a couple of days.
And some low-lying roads have been closed as the water continues to rise. That hasn't stopped emergency crews from staying in response mode.
Once the water started to get into Live Oak County, we had teams constantly watching roads, assessing, what is actually happening on the ground.
The Live Oak County Office of Emergency Management remains in contact with local, state, and volunteer agencies to make sure resources are available if they're needed.
They've been great assets to have here, been great in giving me information to make decisions.
The disaster relief shelter at George West Junior High remains open 24 hours a day. People can stop by for food, emotional support, crisis counseling, or other assistance, even if they don't need to spend the night.
We are tough and we take care of our neighbor. We take care of ourselves.
On the roads, TxDOT crews continue to check state highways for changing conditions and are working with local officials when closures become necessary. But they are reminding drivers to respect barricades, never drive through floodwaters, and plan for extra travel time.
Be smart about what you're doing whenever you're in your vehicle. If you come up to a road and there's water, be cautious. And if it's a lot of water, turn around.
The National Weather Service says major flooding will continue along the Nueces River near Three Rivers, with water expected to recede only slowly over the next several days, meaning hazardous conditions could persist even as the rivers begin to fall. Reporting in Live Oak County, Reagan Garvin, Chris 6 News.
Hey there, Coastal Bend. It's your neighborhood news reporter, Jordan Benavidez, and I'm outside here at Lake Corpus Christi. We were here 2.5 weeks ago on July 17th in that spot right over there. Now you can see it's completely underwater, but it's a sight for sore eyes as water and wildlife are starting to rush in. Water from the Nueces has made its long-awaited arrival into Lake Corpus Christi after taking a 2-week journey through South Texas. After sitting at roughly 30% since the heavy rains and flooding in hill country, the lake is now up to just over 57% and still rising. Residents in Corpus Christi are breathing a sigh of relief, and so are homeowners in the area.
A big reason of why we decided to move here was, of course, the lake.
Eric Spitzer and his family have lived on Lake Corpus Christi for nearly 4 years. After seeing the lake fall to record lows, he's hopeful about the incoming water and is excited for what's to come.
Almost 100%, which I know myself and a lot of other residents around here have been anxiously awaiting for.
A quick look at the levels over the last 7 months will show you just how much change the water has brought with it. As of today, the lake is sitting at its highest level since late 2023, but by the looks of the Nueces River, it's not done just yet. Reporting from Lake Corpus Christi, I'm Jordan Benavidez, Chris 6 News.
It looks like the expiration date for Stage 3 water restrictions is just hours away. City Manager Peter Zanoni tells Chris 6 News that he plans to announce tomorrow morning that Corpus Christi will move from Stage 3 to Stage 2 water restrictions. A news conference has been set for 9 a.m. Tuesday at the Police Training Academy on Yorktown. Corpus Christi residents have been under Stage 3 water use restrictions since December 16, 2024. Last month's heavy rain that caused widespread flooding in central Texas have also sent water flowing into Choke Canyon Reservoir and Lake Corpus Christi.
Hey there, I'm Chief Meteorologist Stephanie Lauber. Let's go back in time, and can you guess the last time that we had a transition in our water restriction stage? Well, it's really the stage of the drought contingency plan, which first put us in stage 1 back in 2022. Flag Day of 2022 is when we had already sat below the threshold for a while, and it did not seem that we would recover. And good thing we did transition at that time, because it wasn't long before stage 2 water restrictions came along, March 12th, 2024. And stage 3, we transitioned even quicker toward that, December of 2024. And it's all because we've just had a lack of significant rainfall within our watershed over the past several years, and usage has been on the rise. So with stage 2 ahead of us, what does that mean for your sprinkler? Well, one, you can only water before 10 a.m. or after 6 p.m. because of evaporation, but it means many of us will be able to tend to more of those waterful activities outdoors.
It is hard to believe it has been 56 years since Hurricane Celia devastated the coastal bend. The Category 4 storm slammed into South Texas on this exact day in 1970. The National Hurricane Center reanalyzed the storm in 2022, noting Celia brought sustained winds of 140 miles per hour and wind gusts as high as 180 miles per hour to Corpus Christi. The eye of the hurricane passed over Corpus Christi Bay, placing neighborhoods along the bay in the storm's violent eye wall. The destruction was unbelievable. The storm destroyed 90% of the structures in downtown Corpus Christi. The damage topped $500 million, or about $4.3 billion in 2026. Sadly, the hurricane took the lives of 15 people across South Texas and injured more than 450 Texans. Celia underwent rapid intensification and did not make it a turn to the north as initially predicted by forecasters. Families had little time to prepare. Celia is one of the costliest storms in Texas history.
The Coastal Bend community is mourning a huge loss after the passing of longtime educator and the founder of the Veterans Band of Corpus Christi, Romero Chavez. I'm Jada Strayer, and I'm here at Sherrill Park, where Mr. Chavez performed hundreds of times for various ceremonies honoring our local veterans.
Romero Ram Chavez was born in 1946, and like many of his generation, he was drafted into the Army and served in Vietnam as a combat medic. His tour of duty stretched from April 1967 to April 1969. Chavez returned from Vietnam with scars that he treated with his love of music. He used to say that music was therapy for the PTSD he suffered. While many knew Chavez as the founder of the Veterans Band of Corpus Christi, his impact stretched far beyond the military community. A decorated Vietnam combat medic who later received the Silver Star for his bravery, Chavez devoted his life to serving others. After returning home, he spent years as a CCISD educator and mentor, using music to honor veterans and inspire generations of students.
He taught us not only music, but so many lessons in life. He believed in us, he believed in me, and that caused us to strive and work hard and excel. Not only in music, but even in life. And so he was really a great, legendary educator, teacher, and a great friend.
Friends say that same spirit of service never faded. Whether he was leading the Veterans Band at community ceremonies, mentoring young musicians, or sharing stories from his time in Vietnam, Chavez had a way of making people feel valued and reminding the community to never forget those who served.
I used to tell him all the time, dude, you're a music teacher. What made you such a badass? Sure, he was artsy. Sure, he was talented to do what he did in the music world. But he's also he was a man's man.
He was also a family man. Ram Chavez was married to his wife Janie for over 50 years. They had a son and 2 daughters, plus grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Whether receiving military honors, directing bands, or standing beside veterans at ceremonies, those who knew Chavez say recognition was never what drove him. They say his greatest reward was seeing others succeed and ensuring those who served were never forgotten.
He touched so many people, not just in the music world, but in the political world, all over the place. He was everywhere, and he was always so friendly, so happy.
Funeral arrangements for Mr. Chavez have not yet been announced. However, his legacy is living on through the countless students, veterans, and community members he has impacted. Reporting for Chris 6 News, I'm Jada Strayer.
Here's a look at the top headlines happening across the Coastal Bend. A 9-year-old boy is dead after a weekend car crash near Rockport. It happened Saturday evening on Loop 1781. Investigators say 77-year-old Gary Gill was driving too fast around a curve. His vehicle went off the road and hit a power pole. The boy was thrown from the vehicle and died later at a Corpus Christi hospital. The DPS says neither Gill nor the child were wearing seatbelts. We've got some more Harbor Bridge Road work to tell you about. Beginning tonight, the outside main lane of southbound Highway 181 will be closed so crews can work on the lights beneath the bridge. The closure will be from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night. The southbound shoulder of 181 will be closed while that work is underway. Drivers should be prepared for slower traffic. And demolition of the Old Sunrise Mall at SPID and Airline is pretty much done. Demolition began nearly 2 years ago. A couple of structures still standing now house other businesses. Sunrise Mall opened on February 4th, 1981. It went through some financial ups and downs, including the loss of its anchor stores and a bankruptcy filing. Sunrise Mall finally closed to the public in December of 2019. The Farfield study is complete. The study was commissioned by the city manager to evaluate any potential impact on our bay system by the proposed Inner Harbor desalination facility. It was done by Sferos Environmental. A presentation of preliminary findings back on June 2nd raised some concerns among the scientific community about whether the study was thorough enough. Specifically, they want more on potential impacts to marine life. The final report presents findings on salinity levels, the formation of distinct layers of water in the bays, and the movement of tides. Since the June 2nd presentation, there have been calls for independent review of the study. City council members have each been given copies of the report. Corpus Christi Water has previously stated they would post the final report on their website as soon as it was released.
Chris Six and the Gulf Coast Humane Society are teaming up once again for the annual Clear the Shelters campaign. Tonight's pet is Tagger, and he has a message for you. Tag, I hope you're it.
Watching Chris 6, a part of the Scripps News Group.
The annual Clear the Shelters campaign is underway to help pets find loving homes. And as I told you last week, we here at Chris 6 are teaming up with the Gulf Coast Humane Society to help these animals. So today we want to introduce you to Tagger. He is a friendly and playful dog looking for an active family. Tagger gets along great with cats, but needs to be your only pup. He's the longest resident at the shelter. Tagger has been waiting 658 days for a forever home. So you can visit the shelter to adopt him today.
Here's a look at what's happening across the Lone Star State. Former Texas Congresswoman Kay Granger has died at age 83. House Speaker Mike Johnson announced her death. Granger was a political trailblazer. She was the first Republican woman from Texas elected to the U.S. House. She was also the first female mayor of Fort Worth. Granger retired last January. Her son says she struggled with dementia towards the end of her career. San Antonio police are investigating the death of a 2-year-old girl. Ariana Trevino Martinez disappeared Sunday night. That prompted an Amber Alert. Search crews found her hours later in a brushy area near a pond. First responders rushed her to a hospital. That is where she died. Investigators have not released her cause of death. A driver in Beaumont, Texas is safe after his pickup truck plunged into a giant sinkhole. It happened early Sunday morning. Police say the street suddenly collapsed beneath the truck. The sinkhole was 20 feet wide and 20 feet deep. It was filled with water from a broken main. The driver managed to crawl out without serious injuries. Crews pulled the truck out and repaired the leak Sunday afternoon.
We're learning more about a court win for aspiring physician assistants, or PAs. Federal judge blocking the education department from capping their student loans. Pauses those new limits that would have prevented PA students from borrowing the maximum amount for their education. Education department tried to require only doctoral level students get the funds. Most PAs rely on those dollars to fund their educations.
Anything in the form of loan caps or restrictions on PA students' ability to access and finance their programs would have a devastating impact on the workforce.
Tyler Smith is with the Physicians Assistants Association, which was part of the lawsuit. He says this ruling is important not only for students, but patients as well. The nation relies on those PAs to fill the gaps in healthcare.
PAs have grown significantly over the past several decades. We just crossed the threshold of more than 200,000 PAs practicing across the country. So as we continue to see workforce gaps, really investing in PA education is a critical priority for us.
The court battle continues. Smith and other advocates want Congress to pass a bill that would guarantee PA students long-term access to the financial aid they need to finish their programs.
Head Start is facing a major overhaul by the Trump administration. The no-cost federal program has been around since the 60s and provides early education support to low-income families. It's traditionally received bipartisan support, but now some Republicans argue the government should not be involved in education at any level. The Trump administration now aims to cut down on Head Start regulations and leave most of the specifics up to state and local lawmakers. The Department of Health and Human Services says to expect published changes this week.
All right, let's take a look at the forecast here. We are looking at a hot week for the first full week of August. That may not come as a surprise. This is South Texas after all, but here's how things shaped up in Corpus Christi today. Actual high temperature hitting 98 degrees, a little bit hotter than we typically expect for a day like today. And we are hoping to bring that number down just a little bit closer to that expectation. But really what's going to help us do that is the same thing that's going to make it feel hotter to your body. So let's get the setup of the weather situation. Taking a trip upstairs in the atmosphere, the upper level weather pattern. A couple days ago, well into the early part of last week, we were talking about a bullseye over the Lone Star State, a heat dome, high pressure that makes for downward movement in the air, really makes it hard to get rainfall in the mix and just really amplifies our temperatures. Well, that is coming back our way over the next couple of days. So as high pressure builds back in, that is once again going to bring that heat dome right here to the coastal bend. But as that transition happens, we're likely to see some gusty winds, and it's not going to be a perfect transition, but as long as we've got a breeze, that's going to bring the humidity, which triggers the heat index, or feels like temperature, to some very unfriendly numbers. This is the temperature that your body perceives once we factor in the actual air temperature and the humidity. So we will be feeling like the upper 80s and even some lower 90s very early tomorrow morning. Heading into the lunchtime period, that's where it's going to feel like the triple digits, middle 100s for most of us as we cruise past the lunch hour. And depending on how many of us sit at that 110 or hotter range and how long that happens, we could even see some heat alerts for Tuesday. But what you need to know is that the temperature is one part of it, but the wind that is also bringing the humidity, that's going to be on the up and up. Gusty conditions into the afternoon could help to cap the actual air temperature, which would give that humidity less of a vice grip on the feels like temperature. So I'll show you how that 7-day forecast is going to pan out in just a few.
Hey everyone, I'm Larissa Liska in Sinton. Last year's state semifinal Pirates are in a new division this year, and they're ranked in the top 5 for Dave Campbell's preseason poll. Meet the returners and the key roles to fill in sports. Hey everyone, I'm Larissa Liska in Sinton. The Pirates have not missed football playoffs since head coach Michael Troutman took over the program in 2019. That's 7 straight years of success. While Monday marked the first official day of practice, the Pirates have been working hard since December 12th, 2025, when they fell in the state semifinal. But now it's time to wipe the slate clean because this year's group needs to come together.
We're proud of the accomplishment, but now it's our time. Now it's this year. Now it's this year.
We got a taste of success, and that's the first time in however many years it was that Sinton's made it that far. And we know that we still have a lot of returning pieces, a lot of great pieces this year too. And so we know that we have a great shot at state this year.
That's Sinton senior Marcus Zapata. Last season he was second on the depth chart at running back, but he made valuable plays down the stretch, finishing with 568 yards and 8 touchdowns.
He has great vision. He's able to see the field and make the cuts he needs to. He's a very strong runner too. He's going to be an impactful player on both sides of the ball.
Zapata's strength and power come from playing safety on defense, where he was second on the team with 127 tackles.
It just really helps me understand defenders a lot better and how they're going to use their body and how the angles they're going to attack me from. So if I see someone one-on-one, I know as a safety, the best angle I'm going to go at. So knowing that already, I have a step ahead of them, so I know I'm going to go the opposite way.
Sinton returned 6 players on defense and 6 on offense. The Pirates bring back starting dual-threat quarterback Quincy Bess. He's working on connecting with his newer offensive line.
We have 2 returners coming back, so we have to find 3 good ones to step in at center and 2 guards. And, it's a pride thing. They take pride in being an offensive lineman for the Sinton Pirates.
They take pride in practicing all 3 phases of the game, including special teams. Junior kicker Blake Bordelon is back. He made some big-time field goals in the playoffs, like the game winner against Cuero.
No, I know my role is huge, but it took everybody on the team. Just going back, you know, everything. Everybody focuses on the kick, but nobody focuses on after. We still had to recover an onside, and that was a whole team effort. Once again, showcasing the team's hunger just to get past that point.
Sinton kicks off the season with a road trip to Tolosa Midway on Friday, August 28th at 7:30 p.m. And as head coach Michael Troutman said, it starts now. I'm Larissa Liska, Chris 6 Sports.
The Coastal Bend Food Bank is hosting a pop-up mobile food distribution this week. It happens Tuesday from 7 to 9 a.m. on the food bank on the Bear Lane. Now, the group will hand out fresh produce and bread. Organizers ask that you stay inside your vehicle during the event. They also ask you to stay off your phone in the drive-through lane.
Well, some folks got a nice little downpour on Sunday, but that's about all she wrote. When it comes to rainfall in South Texas, does not look very hopeful for us here in the Coastal Bend over the next 7 days. Unlikely to see meaningful rainfall in your neighborhood. So what will we see? Plenty of heat. Here in Corpus Christi, temperatures will look like this over the next couple of days, hanging out in those middle 90s to even upper 90s. And of course, you've got to add about 5, maybe even 10 degrees to these numbers, because that is what the humidity is going to make your body perceive the temperature to be. So aside from that, we'll have some clouds, we'll have some wind. Wind gusts will be up around 25 to 30 miles per hour. And we'll watch how that breeziness continues into the later part of the week, because as it seems now, that wind will help to keep our temperatures in check, which will help to keep that feels like temperature in check. But it is going to be pretty breezy out there, and really we could use some more rainfall, but it doesn't look like August will lend any just yet.
And that's all the time we have for you. Thank you so much for watching Chris 6 News. Have a great one.